Hello,
Oh, hello.
I'm Sammy,
And I'm Steve.
and you're listening to Rose Plate Special, the most dramatic, loomingest, leap of faithingest, full kitcheningest. Why is that one? Recap podcast of The Bachelor.
Ever.
Okay, can we talk? Okay, so here's something that's really, I just want to address right at the jump. Um, I feel like it was just editing or me not paying attention, but did
hmm
Daisy have the shittiest room out of the 3 women? Am I imagining that?
I I did not catch on to that, but it's entirely possible. Why is there a full kitchen? Are they staying at the Embassy Suites? What's
Because
going
someone had
on?
a full kitchen. I don't remember which one. I literally just scanned through my notes and whatever comes out, friends. Um, But yeah, so like, okay, so I wasn't paying full attention at the beginning. So this is on me. But I
hmm
started paying attention when Daisy opened the door of her hotel and it looked like it was facing a bunch of other rooms. And I
hmm
was like, that doesn't really seem like a fantasy suites week level room. When you're
Yeah.
like in the final 3, you should be completely secluded from the outside world. It just seemed like we didn't know where to put Daisy. Is a booking messed up and we put her here. Sorry, Daisy, but you're a good sport, right? And then um wasn't Rachel the one who had like the tub, like that hammocky tub?
hmm
And then
Yep.
someone else had like a private pool. I think Kelsey had a private pool outside. So I just remember being like, wow, their rooms look really nice compared to what I saw of Daisy's room. And I wasn't sure if that was just me or if anybody else saw that.
hmm
Um, I didn't look to see if like anybody else was talking about that. And now I'm quickly Googling it.
I mean, it's also
But I
possible
was
that we
like
just
confused.
because of the footage that was shown, it may present that way. But
Oh,
uh,
100%. But I was just like, why does Daisy's room look so small compared to everybody else's? I was just so confused. Anyway, I was just like, don't do that to Daisy. That's not nice. Um,
yeah, we love Daisy, even if she can't get over the self-esteem hump thing here. Like, she must have been really burned by some guys in the past who,
well, yeah, I mean, I think they've all kind of had, well, I mean, I would say Kelsey's probably got, well, her walls down the most, but we'll see what happens next week. I don't know about any of that anymore.
yeah, like
Um,
I don't even like I can't even process it. Like, did she just have like her dating profile online and she keeps like uh matching with guys whose profiles are like turnoffs, cochlear implants. Like it's just
maybe,
it's
I don't
so
know.
weird.
Yeah, she's just, I don't know. There's something not right about the guys she's dating, that's for sure. They're real losers. So okay, so Joey starts this week by thinking that he's not letting go enough. He's still holding back. He wants to be more vulnerable with these women, and he's got a chance to do that because if you get fantasy suite time, you get talking time. So
hmm
that's key. Um, they're in Tulum. Yeah, this is where I wrote, doesn't seem as fancy of a room, but I could just if you're yelling at me, I'm sorry. I just was like, this is weird that I'm focused on this back area, this patio area that's like not as cool as the other ones. Um and then so Kelsey's talking about how she hasn't said the L word yet.
hmm
And Rachel also got a great room, but feels like she has yet to open up. And this is a make or break week for her. And first of all, did not notice her EXO ear tattoo until now, and it's cute. That's a note I had. And now we get some of our favorite Golden Bachelor ladies. This was a good group. So we've got Susan, and she's like, I'm a real woman with experience, and I'm here to help. um, and I really think the Golden Bachelor is like the gift that keeps on giving, and not for Gary, but for all the women that were on the show because they were all amazing. And forget Gary, who cares about him? This is the prize. Um, and this is interesting. I have a question for you. Do you think
Yeah.
that there were several Golden Bachelor women waiting in the wings who did not come onto the show and they
Oh
matched them
wow.
very close to some of the contenders? Or do you think they had these 3 lined up and they went, well, this is kind of like the closest matching we can get, so we're going to do this?
100%, those are just the 3 that were available. Like, that's
'Cause it's interesting, right? Because like, so we've got Susan who's gotten cheated on, and right, didn't she say she got cheated on as well?
Yep.
Um, and then Rachel talks about how she got cheated on twice, and I said, "Fuck those losers." And, so she's basically like, "You just gotta, like but you gotta just embrace it. You gotta just be vulnerable, gotta take that leap." Okay. And then they do this thing that they've done. This is like, was it in Tulum that they did this? Because they have literally the same signs for this
Mhm.
leap of faith thing. I don't know if it was in Tulum, but it was somewhere with that was Spanish speaking. And they had this exact same sign about a leap of faith. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember? This was
This
only
is
like a
from, like, a
couple seasons
previous
ago.
season. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it was like a couple seasons ago they did this. Was it
I
Michelle's
have a
season?
feeling based on where, uh, fantasy suites tend to take place, which is a tropical location. I would not be surprised if this is not the first time they have been to Tulum and shown that sign. So, yeah,
I remember it was, like, not that long ago, maybe a couple seasons ago, if anybody remembers. Okay. Oh, Matt and Michelle rappelled down the side of a building as a leap of faith, but that's not the leap of faith I'm thinking about. So there's
not the
an
same one.
no, there was another Bachelor leap of faith, like, not that long ago, and they had the same signs, and I swear. Okay, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out by the end of this episode. Stop yelling at me again. So
Everyone's screaming at you right
this
now.
was, like, so interesting because I was like, "Oh, so she gets a thrill date. That's good for make or break, heart pounding, whatever." But and they've done this, like I said, they've done this multiple times, this leap of faith thing. And there was one that was not that long ago, but this took a turn and she messed up her face, like, real bad. That sounds awful.
Yeah.
Like, that did not look fun at all, and she could barely open her mouth, and she just kept being like, I'm fine," and I'm like, "That does not seem fine to me." That
Mm.
scared me. I did not like that at all. I don't know
Yeah,
about
I
you,
I
but
would
ugh.
not wanna do that at all.
Yeah.
At all. Um, Also, I believe what do we got here? I'm trying to figure out this Tulum thing that you've, tried to figure out, or
Oh,
that you tried
sorry.
the Tulum mystery.
No, there was I'm telling you, this was like a season or 2 ago. It could have been on Paradise, that's the thing. Um, oh, wait. Oh, wait, no.
So, it was on
Inception.
Paradise,
Okay. You
and
found
it
it?
was, let's see, 2022?
Okay.
That doesn't seem right, though. No, okay.
I'm so sorry I
Fuck,
did
I
this
don't
to
know.
you.
It was something on Bachelor in Paradise several years ago.
I remember
They were
it.
in Tulum.
I
Okay.
remember it well, I remember this leap of faith thing. Like, I'll never forget it because yeah, it was yeah, anyway.
It was
Okay.
Bachelor in Paradise 9 years ago. That's it had to be like Bachelor in Paradise
No.
season 1.
No, it was only a couple years ago. It was only a couple years ago because
Okay,
it's,
this
like,
is the only
fresh in
thing I
my
can
memory.
find. The Tulum mystery remains open then. That's
Okay, well, sorry about that. Well, there is wait, is it did you was it a Bachelor Nation? Wait, here. Like Bachelor in Paradise season 1. No, that's
yeah.
not what I'm
Are
talking
are
about.
you sure that you weren't at, like, a home goods store and you just saw that, like,
No,
on a
you know where I
sign,
could
"Distressed gray wood with white
you
paint
know
on
where
it"?
I could find it is probably in my old Bachelor notes if we're
Mm.
being honest.
Is it on one of your, mugs from your Ray Dunn mug collection?
I don't have a Ray Dunn mug
I
collection.
I
You
don't
know that,
know.
and I know that.
I cannot confirm or deny that you
I definitely don't have a Ray Dunn
No.
collection.
I
I'm not
may be
that
bringing that up
corny.
just because, I know that you have a passionate hatred for Ray Dunn mugs, so
I do
this
have a passionate yeah, okay. Oh, here. Okay. Here we go. Wait, this is the one. Yeah, Gabby and Rachel season. Uh-huh. It was Gabby and Rachel season. They
Gabby
had
and
a
Rachel season,
yep.
okay.
They had it was Gabby and Eric. They took a leap of faith. It was at Lover's Leap. Um, there was a sign that said "Love is a leap of faith" in Spanish, and we see them smooching and drinking champagne after jumping. I don't know where they were, but I will find it in a second. Now that I'm now that we're going down this rabbit hole, I have to see it through, friends. But it was Lover Sleep. I don't know where they were at varying heights, but they did the same thing, and it was the signs and everything. And I was like, I didn't know if it was Tulum. I'm just saying it was the exact same date setup. And like I don't forget that stuff. They were in Mexico, so it could have been Tulum. I don't know exactly where. I'm guessing that there are multiple places in Mexico where they have these like sinkhole jumps and they do this love is a leap of faith thing. Um, but I don't know exactly where they were. But let's keep moving and I will find it. But yeah, so I felt really bad for Rachel in this scenario because I just feel like she was still holding back. She was still afraid to be vulnerable. I mean, she did
Hmm.
break down at some point, but like she's like so afraid of letting her guard down or getting hurt or anything that she just like didn't, just wanted to act like everything was okay. And that like really freaked me out. Anyway,
Yeah.
I get that taking time away from the date, but also you're still getting quality time together. And, no matter
Yeah.
what you're doing, it's not like he's going
Now,
to leave you.
I just want to say, I, I I don't know. This is my problem with her is I still don't see it, and I have not seen it with like their connection, like the depth of their connection this entire time. And now I feel like even though this this fantasy suite episode was largely drama free, all things considered, aside from the usual poking and prodding from production, I just don't know if she has a shot at final two. Like she's got to get caught, right? Am I losing it because I've been downplaying how good she is the entire time, and she keeps moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. Is Steve wrong again?
I don't know. I think it's going to depend on what this Kelsey thing is.
Hmm.
Um, but I think there's something that's happening that we're not seeing. Um, Real quick aside, and then we'll get back. So Gabby and Rachel stayed in a resort that was just north of Playa, about an hour south of Cancun. So not Tulum, but not far from Tulum. So they could have definitely taken them to Tulum to do this same thing.
Hmm.
They were not super far away from there. Okay. Anyway, so that mystery has closed. That it probably is the exact same location. So anyway, yeah, I mean, this is interesting. She's scared of losing him. He's trying to reassure her. They go to the fantasy suite. Um, she says she opened up and got vulnerable. Like all that stuff sounds good. Things seem to
Hmm.
feel good. So that's why I'm saying I think the I kind of felt like, okay, she's going home this week. But then when Kelsey's like, I have to tell him this, that kind of changed my mind
Hmm.
about because I'm like, I don't know, this seems like a really late moment to do something kind of dramatic. And she's like, are you okay? And he's like, no. And I don't think that's creative editing. It could be. It didn't seem like it. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Also, what was with this weird Oprah fat shaming segment that happened at the commercial between the I don't know if you watch it live. I was like, what is this crap? I don't want to
There's an
hear from you,
Oprah
Oprah.
fat shaming segment.
Yeah, because she's just like, "Yeah, the weight loss revolution." And I'm like, can you just let this go? Can you just stop? Can we just not do this anymore? It's
I feel like
2024.
what's the deal with Oprah's weight? That's a real like
I mean,
pre 2000 conversation
I feel
point.
bad for her that she had a microscope on her body for so long, but she's now bringing, it's like she's also brought it up. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, that just really bothered me. I had a note about it. It was really like sticking in my craw. Anyway, so okay, Kelsey's time. So Leslie comes in for Kelsey. And again, this is a good pairing because Leslie lost her mom when she was young as well. And this is interesting because Susan's like, go for it, to Rachel. And Leslie's like, be careful.
Mm.
Watch it. Guard yourself. Don't don't go too far. Uh, and so Kelsey's like, oh God, I don't know. So that was interesting. I'm like, what were the producers telling them? What advice to tell them? This is interesting. And also, this is fun. So they get on a boat, and Kelsey's hair looks totally normal to me, and she's like, "My hair is so crazy." I just thought that was really funny. Um, And they're doing jumping again, but this time not so far. And there's also stingrays, and that looked fun. I would totally do that. And then they get to dinner, and Kelsey tells Joey, she's like, "Well, Leslie said be careful." And Joey's like, "Well, I also want to be careful." And she's like, "Well, I want you to feel seen. And I also want to feel seen." And he's like, "Well, guess what? You said you're falling in love. I say I'm falling in love." And here's the thing, he did not say that to Rachel. And he was like,
Mm.
"I didn't want to say that until like it felt right. And now I'm going to say it. And now I'm saying it." And so then I was like, "Okay, it's Kelsey. End game. I was right. Like, this is it. They're riding off into the sunset. This is happening." Um, they have the full kitchen in the morning, and he's got like bacon and they're eating, and that's cute and whatever. And I wrote, "I feel like there's no way he doesn't pick her."
Really?
And then the
Oh.
producers were, well, that's what I said at the time.
Ah.
Okay. Okay. Now we've got Daisy. This is going to be a short one. We've got Daisy and Sandra. First of all, Sandra's looking good.
Yeah.
And she's a good person to meet with Daisy too. That's why I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like at least out of the three, they just like they arranged them well.
Yeah, it's hard though because I feel like going into this they knew that there weren't a lot of question marks. Like
Yeah.
Joey has done a really good job
He's
of
got like a good picker. Yeah.
yeah, and then at
Yeah.
this point with Maria gone, he doesn't there's no like e even emotionally, there's no wild cards to deal with. But essentially, like, all these women are just like, "Wow, that's great that you love him, but also you might get your ass dumped, just so you know." Like,
Yeah. It's
and
just,
clearly this has had different effects on the women because I don't know, I guess Daisy kinda got the kids' gloves here, but, obviously, Kelsey in particular was
yeah,
not
it was
able
like,
to handle that.
watch out, watch out. That's a scary, love is full of landmines. You
Yeah.
watch your shit.
Which
And
really
yeah.
bums me out too, because I mean, this is how it's been the whole season, right? It's like you see Daisy and you can tell that like you can tell the producers want Daisy to be number one, and Joey has indicated that she's like clearly tops for him. But also like if you just the way that he interacts with Kelsey, I think it's totally different. Like the weird kind of
Mm.
chemistry they have. I think it's totally on a different level. And again, this could be production, could be editing, could be any number of things. But I see something with those two that I don't see with Daisy. And that makes me wonder if he's actually going to pick her. Like, are we being duped by the production? Has
Like
this
he's
been
actually gonna
a
pick
long
Daisy,
play?
you
Yeah, I
mean?
have no idea. I have no
Mm.
idea.
Well, so Sandra is with Daisy, and she's basically just like, okay, like you can be caught up in like the noise of other people being here,
Mhm.
but don't do that. Just don't. Just focus on you. Just this is about you and your relationship and your journey and no one else's. So just do what feels right to you. And it's like honestly good advice, very good advice. And Daisy's like, okay. And oh, so then they go ATVing, and Joey says love to Daisy as well.
Mhm.
And so the only person he didn't say it to is Rachel. Now, it could be because she was having a very emotional time. Perhaps he was planning on doing that. I don't know. I have
Mhm.
no idea. Maybe it happened in the fantasy suites. Who knows? I doubt it. So that to me was like, okay, Rachel's going home. And he could rationalize it by being like, she's the only one I didn't say it to. And I only said it to the final two. That's a lot better than a lot of other people on the show. Okay. Moral high ground, like I could totally see Joey making that argument. Like, look at everybody else. Okay. I only said it to two women, not three. Okay. That's way better. And I said falling. Okay. I said falling. So smart.
Very smart.
Um,
Gotta
yeah,
have that qualifier in
he's
there. You're in
very
trouble.
strategic. Yeah, he's strategic in a respectful way. And then okay. Oh, and then I just said I don't feel like I should be watching these scenes with him and Daisy. I was like NSF my eyes. And then and then they get to dinner, and I loved Joey's like looked good this whole season, and all the women look great. I mean, like no complaints. But his dinner outfit was so good. The red and pink combo he wore to dinner was, like, so good. Loved
Mm,
it. No notes.
yeah.
My favorite outfit he's worn so far. Daisy talks about how she's worried about overthinking. Um, she got emotional during the dinner thinking about not getting chosen back, but she is feeling very thankful right now. And then he said falling in love to Daisy. And
Mm.
then, of course, they go into the fantasy suites and you get to see the no molesta sign. And then
How do you pronounce that again?
no molesta. Don't bother them.
Yeah, don't
Um,
molest them.
don't
Bother them.
bother them at all. And then they wake up, it's like the sauciest wake up, you know? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Kelsey is kinda like the most wholesome, and Rachel's just kinda, like, calm, and then they wake up like, I'm like, "Again, I feel like I shouldn't be watching this." Um, but anyway, so we think everything, like, pretty much went okay. It would seem as if Rachel is going to be leaving.
Mhm.
But now Kelsey's like, "I feel terrible, and I have to talk to Joey before this is killing me. I gotta tell him I can't wait any longer." And I just said, wonder if it's really that serious. I don't know. And I mean, we have that clip where Joey's like, "I bet that's never happened before," or whatever. So I'm like, what's never happened before? I'm like going through the Rolodex in my brain. See, because I'm like, they went on this exact same date, Gabby and Rachel season. Okay. I do remember these things. And I don't know what useful stuff is not in my brain as a result of me remembering these things, but I do remember them. And so I don't know. I haven't looked anything up because I'm trying to, be surprised and all that stuff. And next week is the women tell all.
Mhm. Yeah.
So and we're also going to find out what happens in
Yeah.
this little segment.
I I don't
Yeah.
I am way more interested in the women tell all than anything that's going on with fantasy suites right now. Like,
I just am really curious what the hell Kelsey is on about.
yeah, I think it's like last minute cold feet insecurity because she's absolutely like 110% in love with
I just
Joey,
think
right?
she's a deadlock. Yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, and then but then it's just like, "Oh, no, a 60-year-old woman has planted a seed of doubt, which has grown into a flourishing doubt tree, which is melting your brain."
Yeah, they, like, really messed her up. I don't know, because I just kinda felt like she's just coasting. This is so easy, you know? So I just, like,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
gotta be nuts, though, because imagine, like, all the joy of, like, a new relationship where you're just totally into someone, but then there's this competitive element where at any point, no matter how good it's going, without any sort of traditional breakup, the whole thing's gonna explode, and then you've been doing this for weeks. Like, I think it really is just at this point, anything production cooks up, it's just like a fucking layup. It's like bowling with bumpers, you know? It's like, how can we emotionally damage someone? It's easy. But
Yeah.
it just feels like, Kelsey, you've got it, you know, your final two worst case scenario, which then makes me think of how this season started, which was it was this nice, or not nice. I mean, it was sad, but just Joey standing on the beach, all fucked up because it looks like I don't know someone abandoned him or something,
Yeah.
and it seems like we're being set up for Kelsey doing that exact thing. But then that's too obvious, right? So who's gonna bail? What's going on? Sammy, what's happening?
I just don't know. I don't know. That's the thing, because it's like, when she's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "This is weird." I don't know. This whole thing is weird. I'm I just don't know what it is she could have told him. When she says we need to talk, and it was like, I have to tell him this. To me,
Mhm.
that's like a piece of information. And I don't know
Yeah.
if that piece of information is like, maybe like, I told you this in the fantasy suites, but actually I've been thinking about it and I feel this way about it. Maybe
Mhm.
like, um, I don't know, like, I told you I would move, but I'm actually not going to do that. Or you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know what it would be. Like, I have no clue. I do think the Women Tell All is also going to be very good.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I'm
I think it's gonna
excited
actually be
for
interesting.
some of these women to kind of like twist themselves into knots trying to explain why they're mad at Maria. Although I'm a big fan of the Maria TikTok theory. Are you familiar with this one?
No,
Um,
what's the Maria TikTok theory?
so basically, it's it's like all these like queer women on TikTok who are just like,
Oh.
no, this all makes sense. Everyone, all these women are just
Oh, yes, yes,
having
yes.
like
We did talk
sexual
about this.
attraction
Yes.
to Maria.
Yeah, I thought that there was a different theory. Didn't we
No,
talk about that
no.
on the podcast already?
We
I
may
thought
have.
we
It's
did.
it's my favorite thing
Yeah.
to talk about with
It
people
is a
because
good
it
I mean, it
makes
is
the
a good thing to
most
talk about.
sense.
I think so. There's something like okay, there was a comment that I saw the other day that was saying something like Maria is just so confident. She exudes this really unique energy that really draws you in. But if you're not confident like that, um, yeah, you might resent it. You
Yeah,
know?
it just consumes you totally. Or
Yeah.
you see it as like she's cocky or she thinks she's better than me. It's like, no, she just doesn't have weird self-esteem issues like you all have. Like, come on.
Yeah, like it's a threat. Like they perceive it as a threat. And
Hmm.
I don't think she means it that way. I just I don't buy it. I don't believe it. I
Yeah.
think they tried to make her the villain, did not work.
Yep.
And yeah, and now I am excited to see her get her redemption and like come into the women tell all with so many cheers. Oh, it's gonna feel so
That'd
good.
be great.
Because and I mean, I just kind of hope that they don't this is what I hope. With Sydney, I mean, listen, every woman on the show, this is not okay, but every woman on the show gets death threats.
Hmm.
And that sucks. And that's terrible and it should not happen. But I believe that Sydney may use that to deflect from the not great things that she does.
Yep. Yep.
And I don't want to see that happen.
No,
So
nobody does.
I just have a weird feeling that that's going to happen, and that we're going to have a somber moment and scold the the toxic parts of Bachelor Nation that do effed up shit like send death threats, and they're going to be like,
Hmm.
don't do that. That's not okay. This is a very obvious thing that we should all know by now, but we have to scold you like your children because what the hell is wrong with people? Why do they do that? Don't do stop doing that.
I don't know.
But, like, it's, like, not okay. I don't know why anyone does that kind of shit. But anyway, I just have a weird feeling that she's gonna use that and she's gonna, like, like, get a little emotional and, like, dab her eyes and be like, I just don't that's not necessary. Why did they do that to me?" And then we can't have, like, the real conversation, about, like, why the hell were you, like, starting so much shit and whatever. So, that's the
Yeah.
thing. I'm a
Hmm.
little,
Not gonna phase me.
well, I'm anticipating it is all I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm
Yeah.
anticipating that that could happen and that it will bother me if it happens. Um,
We'll be talking about it next week. That's
yeah.
what.
Here's Leslie's exact quote. I pulled this up from Entertainment Weekly. This is what Leslie said to Kelsey. I went into my last day confident and then I didn't get chosen and that was hard. I would say just always have something in the back of your head. You might not be it.
Mm, mm.
Whoa. She also did say, Joey would be very lucky to have you, but that's like a lot. I mean, it's like, okay, I just went, I had a poster session yesterday or at
Yeah.
a research symposium and event, and I had a lot of positive interactions. And do I remember the one nitpicky thing someone said to me? Yes.
Yes, of course you do. Of course you
I'm
do.
like, God, I should have changed that. She's right. And I've been trying to focus on like all these good things that people said to me that they really enjoyed my research and they found it refreshing and it was really cool and how interesting and and like things that they would like to see happen next. And I agreed with them and it was very exciting and a very good debut of my work and received way better than I thought it would. People made connections in their brain that I thought maybe some people would be like, that's a stretch, and they were all like, "No, that makes sense to me." And I'm like, "Really?" Um, and so I was like very happy, but I'm remembering that one thing that I should have changed on the poster that someone pointed out and got really nitpicky and it's sticking in
Yep.
my brain. And cuz that's how our brains work. They're meanie pants. And
Mhm.
so, you know, I can just imagine that Kelsey's, like, feeling good, and then it's like, "But you should always have in the back of your mind that he may not pick you.
Oh,
He might not
totally,
pick you."
and I think that's, like, the natural reaction because
Yeah.
if you if a woman comes up to you, an older woman, and she's like, "Oh, you're amazing, you're so great, and anybody would be lucky to have you, but also know that you could be dumped at any moment." Like, that what are you gonna take away from that?
Right.
Clearly, it's that thing, like you said, it doesn't matter. You get 100 compliments, but the one negative thing is the thing you're gonna fixate on, so
Right. And what did he say to Kelsey? God, this was, like, a few weeks ago. Um, I'm trying to remember. Basically said, like, "You have nothing to apologize for," like, you're, like, perfect as is kind of a thing. Like, it wasn't
yeah.
exactly that, but you don't remember what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it's like he looks at Kelsey like she is the only thing in the room, the only person in the room,
Oh, for sure.
and the only thing worth looking at, and so, yeah, it's just so weird, like, I don't know. Either it's a secret that she's or, like, something about her life that she feels like is important for him to make a decision, like, I always think about I know I've used that Sean Catherine, like, example, and I don't even think that had been filmed, which they so would never pass that up now. Maybe it was, it's been a long time since I watched that season, though. Um, but in Bachelor Nation, they talk about how, like, he right before he's supposed to pick, he, like, goes back to Catherine's room and is like, "Okay, so, like, I got a quick question for you." And she's like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, "What? Aren't you decided by now?" So that's kinda interesting. So it could be something like that where it's like, this may be a make or break decision for you, so I need to tell you because it would be irresponsible for me not to tell you,
Mhm.
or I don't know. Or it's just some random clickbaity thing and they got us talking for this long. So I just have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Um yeah, and then let's see. That's all I got. I really don't I know it's kind of short, but I don't have a lot of thoughts about this is always kind of the one where there's not a lot to talk about unless something really bad happens and nothing really bad happened. It's just like yeah.
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 It really is.
It's
It
tough.
just feels like there's a bunch of elements that could prove to be explosive, but it's doubtful. This is what they're doing. They're playing us like fiddles, Sammy. Come on. We like what's gonna happen? We don't know, but we're gonna speculate because they're always trying to mess with us.
Yeah. Ooh, I didn't notice all the butterflies that gathered for Joey and Kelsey on The Bachelor after their scene. I
Mm.
missed that apparently. That was something that Entertainment Weekly posted about. I also didn't notice how poorly Joey cracked an egg, I guess. I guess he was bad
Oh,
at it. I didn't notice that either.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so I guess we'll have to see what happens next week.
Mhm. It's a
But
real transitional, episode
yeah,
here, you know?
it's just
It's
kind
like
of it's up
watching the
in the air.
first Dune movie without seeing the second Dune movie. Feels like you're only getting half a movie, and that's what we got.
Oh gosh, yeah, I don't know. It's just God and the oh yeah, yeah. The security footage of Joey reading the letter
The security footage. You
is
mean
so good.
the, Adobe Premiere filter that they put over
Pasillo
regular footage?
noroeste 3, yeah. I
God.
mean, yeah, for some reason it's right over this room and and the quality is really good.
Incredibly sharp, yeah.
Yeah.
Not your average, Ring camera, let me tell you.
Yeah, yeah. I like that Entertainment Weekly called it CCTV footage, and you're like, "Please, I would love to see like, how expensive is this hotel for real?" And then they put Daisy in that room no, I don't know. Maybe the room's totally fine. I do need to find out more about that too because that just really I don't know. To me, it looked like she got the crappiest room, but I hope her room was good.
Mhm.
So, Dreams Tulum Resort and Spa. Oh, wait, what does it say? We got a little montage. Oh, she was staying at a different resort.
That
I'm not
explains it.
making it up. Okay. I feel so much smarter now. Okay. So Entertainment Weekly is really they've got it. They've really done
You're
the
not
research for
losing your
me.
mind. You're actually just perceptive. Well
I'm
done.
like, these look like two different hotels. Like, what is going on? So Daisy was at the Dreams Tulum Resort and Spa, and Kelsey and Rachel were at the Secrets Tulum Resort and Beach Club.
Okay.
So there you go. I don't
There
know.
you go.
I can't speak to the quality fully. Like I said, we can't see it all, but the way it was shot, it looked like her room was way crappier. It just looks smaller and like no like fun extras. Like Kelsey and Rachel had like, yeah, like the cool tub and like the outside
Yeah.
pool that was private. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I will look into these pools, and if I remember, I will report back next week, everyone. But until then, listen, I hope your spring forward went as well as it could have. I hope you celebrated Pi Day, because I celebrated the absolute living shit out of Pi Day. And if you celebrate St. Patrick's Day, I don't know. Don't be safe. Don't go near rivers.
Yeah. Avoid
Okay.
that.
Avoid
And more
rivers.
importantly, if it's St. Patrick's Day, have a green beer, have a shot of whiskey, have fun with your friends, sip a glass of water, but don't do needle drugs.
I was like waiting for the beat to drop.
That's what I'm like an EDM guy. I'm the DJ
Do needle
Pauly D of
drugs.
Bachelor Recap Podcast.